All right, we are live. It's the Spinning Back Fist MMA show for Tuesday, June 10th. It's Robbie Fox, Jack Mack, and Big Ev. As always, we are here to talk UFC Atlanta this weekend. We will talk fights, fight news, fight lines, PFL this week as well in Nashville. How we doing? What do we want to start with today?
I mean, obviously, we recapped. I was going to say Newark already. I guess unpack it again. I'm not fully, obviously, but
we finally got some news on Jon Jones again, but it seems like it was just pretty much everything Ariel said, and then kind of confirmed, which we always said for the past few weeks. Ariel was saying like, oh, it's rumors. Like people are saying it's rumors. We pretty much reported it as fact because, I mean, I trust Ariel to the nth degree. Not nth, but close. Like he's as respected as it comes. That being said, I guess maybe Dana could be pulling a fast one on it, but I don't think that's happening here.
You think also, Jones and Aspinall is not happening? It's done. Obviously, he said, like, if you didn't see, Ariel said it was offered to Jones. He accepted. He went back on accepting. Now he's saying, I'm absolutely not interested in fighting Aspinall. UFC is doing everything in their power to make it happen still, but they're super upset with the fact that, he's doing all this and going on Twitter.
And I think a key detail as well is that he asked for an insane number to fight Aspinall. The UFC met that number. They almost like called his bluff in a sense. They met that number. They said done, like that huge number. They're talking like 30 million, that type of range. UFC apparently has met it. I have on good authority met it. And then he just backed out. I think that's the key part, because I think that's where he can't say, oh, like it's like it's a big fight. I wanted more money. They're lowballing me. Like they came with the massive number that you put out there. They met it. So it's either put up or shut up. And he tucked his tail between his legs and he's going to retire.
Yeah. And he'll have to deal with this guy in our chat because he says if Jones pulls out, I will find him and fight him myself. Shout out that guy in our chat.
I wouldn't fight that guy.
It's crazy. Makes me hate him so much. I almost blogged it like last night at 8 p.m. I might blog it still today just because it pisses me off so much. But I sound like a broken record. I've literally have blogged it a few months ago, a few weeks ago. Like I've blogged it 3 times now.
And also, we heard this, and then also it seems like Ariel confirmed it. He's down to fight anybody else.
Yeah. It's just Aspinall he's not down to fight.
It's just Aspinall.
And it makes it so much worse.
And I will give Dana credit for that, for not like we've known him as a glazer of Jon Jones, the pound for pound GOAT, but him not falling or giving in to Jon Jones saying, hey, like I'll fight Potan or I'll fight, like go get Ngannou. Like he was like, no, it's Aspinall or you're done. And I guess they're also pretty mad about his tweet storms, which thank God, because those tweet storms drive me crazy. Because like
I know
every time he says like it's the definition of like, oh, I'm too good for Tom. I don't think about him. But then he just tweets about him all the time.
All the time. And it's the only thing people want to talk to Jon about at this point. Like it's the kind of thing where it's like, are you going to do it or you're not going to do it? If you're not going to do it, ride off into the sunset. We're not interested in you anymore. And he is the GOAT. Again, people will come back at you and they'll go, shut up. You're talking about the GOAT like that. It doesn't take away from the fact that he's the GOAT, but it'll always be attached to he's the GOAT, but he never fought Tom Aspinall. That'll always be attached to him.
I thought even if he ducked, like if you asked me like a year ago or even whatever, 6 months ago, I never thought it would get to this point. I thought there was a very good chance they wouldn't fight, but I never thought it would look this bad for Jon PR-wise. Like I thought he would get away with just kind of like sailing into the sunset and just being like, you know what, I'm done. He's taking a real like legacy hit on this, and I'm not saying he still won't be recognized as the GOAT, but this is a true like, and I think Dana's being very careful right now because I think he's doing everything he can to make the fight. Because if he just says the truth that Jones, like we gave him a disgusting amount of money or offered a disgusting amount of money, he said no, and basically he's down to fight anyone else but Tom. Like you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. Like once you say that, you are like making it very clear to anyone who's paying attention or just like even casually watching that this is a duck. Like there's no other way to describe it. Like I mean, at the press conference, the last one with Stipe, he's talking about Poatan. Obviously, that was before Poatan lost. He's saying Poatan, and Dana was like, no, like it's Aspinall or nothing.
Yeah.
Like he's like
Yeah.
even, and that was like peak like Jones glazing moment. And he still was like, this, like, you can't not fight Tom after this fight. If you beat Stipe, you have to fight Tom or no one. Like, you're not just getting away with Poatan. This, I mean, he's going to have, what is he? He has the longest reign in UFC heavyweight history. He's fought twice. And the thing is, too, that I think needs to be considered in this heavyweight, like his run, he's never beaten like an undisputed champ. He beat the guy who lost the title fight, and then obviously Francis leaves. And then he beat the guy who was 4 years older, who was 40 years old, and got like knocked out viciously by also the guy who left. Like his heavyweight like title run, like he beat two guys that weren't. Obviously, Stipe was a champ, was a great champion, but they weren't champs. Like the state you fought him in was horrible, and Gane is not a champion. Like he was an interim where he beat Derek Lewis. Like, come on.
This is a
I love
clear.
Derek. Come on.
This is a clear hit to his legacy. I 100%. Like, I would say it's one of the biggest hits to a GOAT's legacy at the end of his career in the history of sports. Like, there's guys that went on and played on other teams late in their career and fighting so much different. But even like people were saying, oh, Mayweather fighting YouTubers and all of that will hurt his legacy. This doesn't even come close. And that's boxing, where guys don't fight each other. This is a huge hit to his legacy. And I still am on that 20% line that the fight will happen. Because I think
I'm with you there.
There is a huge truth to if he really isn't going to fight and there's no hope that he's going to fight, they would have just stripped him and booked the Gane versus Aspinall fight. So, I mean, I think there is that 20%, 30%. Hopefully it's more. I mean, we want to see it. Like, I hope I'm wrong. This is the ultimate. I hope I'm wrong.
I don't think it's dead either. I still think there's a chance it could happen. Like, I don't think it's complete, and maybe it will be. Ariel seems to think that maybe they'll announce like in coming weeks that yes, we're stripping Jon Jones and we're moving on. But I don't know. I still think there's maybe, like you said, like a 20% chance. Also, speaking of Gane, scrolling through Netflix last night looking for something to watch. His movie's like number 2 on Netflix. So
it is.
It's this movie.
Is it in French?
I don't know. I think it's in French. Yeah, but it was number 2 on my like top 10 movies of the day. It's like, oh shit, he's the friggin' star of a Netflix movie. Good for him.
French MMA is hot though. That Netflix, they had that TV show that I think did pretty well. That was French based. I watched like an episode. I don't know how popular it was on Netflix, but I know it was like a real show where the kid, it's basically a kid who's like an up and comer, not even really, basically gets a chance to fight like a real guy who's like a star and like beats him. Like in the gym or something to kind of like get respect. Like he's like a guy in the gym who's like the coach aren't giving him any attention and love, and he like fights. I forget how he gets a chance to fight the guy, and he beats him.
And it was in French too?
Yeah, it was in French. Because there's a scene where after he does it, he like becomes obvious. People know who he is, and he gets an interview. And the interview he gets is like the guy's like interviewing like Cyril Gane. He's like, holy fuck, like. But Jones, I agree with you guys. Like, I think the door's still open. Like, I think it's not like 0% chance the fight happens. I agree, like 10 to 20 probably, because I do think there's Jones is such like he's so chaotic or like I don't even know how to like inconsistent. Yeah. He could just pop up in the gym and like
he'll wake up one day and be like, you know what, fuck it, I'll do it.
Because I think it's pretty. I think the way the pay-per-view schedule has like played itself out now, I think it's pretty obvious. Like Aspinall is going to fight MSG headliner. And he's either going to fight Jones, and it's going to be the super mega fight in New York, or it's going to be Gane for the undisputed belt. I think I think Aspinall's basically been told you are fighting on this card, you are headlining this card. It's just whether Jones like comes back from Thailand and fights you, or if you fight Gane or like Almeida.
He's back though. He's back in Albuquerque. He tweeted.
Gotcha.
So maybe
this is you guys. Could you imagine if we get Jones Aspinall main event? Amanda Nunes, Kayla Harrison, co-main event, MSG. That would be fucking awesome.
Incredible.
Those 2 fights back to back.
Absolutely incredible. I think it's definitely a possibility, but I wonder if that turnaround even for Kayla might be almost like too fast.
I know with the amount of like prep or weight cut needs. Yeah,
she literally needs 4 months.
And that was like
Bro.
another thing we could talk about in terms of fallout. Like she kind of detailed that on Helwani's show, and it's insane. Like it's crazy. We've been saying since she signed, like it's crazy that she can make 135 after fighting at like 155. Now knowing what goes into it, it's even crazier that she makes 135. She said like 3 times during camp she felt like maybe she was going to pass out, so she just needed like a scoop of peanut butter.
Yeah.
And like that was just 3 times over like 14 weeks of her eating like the only what the nutritionist gives her, swimming miles a day or walking miles a day or biking miles a day, like craziness. She walks 6 miles a day for like 14 weeks.
And that's like not including the 2-a-day training she's doing.
Yeah.
Like she's
That's
doing
completely just
training.
that's just to cut weight. That's just
Like
to get the weight down.
2 different training sessions a day and then doing like 6 to 8 miles of cardio.
Yeah.
Outrageous. That's absolutely outrageous.
I was thinking back to when we talked to her, Robbie. The fact she was in that good of a mood, even though she was probably in her early cutting stages, but we talked to some guys that day. We saw some guys that were definitely like, not they were in bad moods, but they were in the middle of a cut. So you don't even like, you're just like, oh. Kayla was as good of a mood as I've seen a fighter on fight week. And then also you could say, oh, well, she didn't start the cut yet. 100%. Even the thought of doing what she had to do over the next 48 hours, because we talked to her Wednesday at like 3 p.m., which means
we were her last interview of the day too. So she had just done like a full day of media by the time she got to us.
Yeah. And she was the ultimate professional, and her performance was amazing. And you think they do it at 145 or what for against Nunes?
No, I think they do 135. I think it's got to be 135. I'm wondering after this fight, let's say Kayla wins. Do they say we're going to make 145 a division again for Kayla? Or is there a chance that Kayla's like, I did everything I wanted to do. I won the title. I beat the GOAT. And now I'm ready to retire. Like the weight cut seems so horrible and strenuous that I don't know how many times she could put her body through this or how many times she wants to put her body through it.
Well, how old is she? She's like close to 40, right?
No, I think she's 34.
34. I apologize. She's 34. So she still has some time, but you're right. And also it's just you asked
like
the
they
question,
were willing
Robbie,
to make the division for Cyborg. If she beats Nunes, I think Kayla will be a bigger star than Cyborg was at that point.
Yeah, I guess it's more so. I mean, there are fighters that fight at that weight. Obviously, we see that in the PFL, but it's kind of like where do you get the competition? They tried it. I mean, Megan Anderson and the likes of that just were like they would have 1 or 2 wins and they'd be like championship.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what you do is, and I don't know if they could pull this off. I don't know what the contract situation is. I mean, you have Cyborg out there. And you have another girl, Larissa Pacheco, who she lost to the last time she fought her, which I think you could absolutely sell as well. So I think it's I agree with Robbie where like I don't know how many times like she just turned she's going to be 35 on July 2nd. So I mean she's got it's up to her. I just don't know how many times she can make that cut. Like is she going to make that cut 4 more times? That seems like a lot. If she beats Nunes, like it opens up a hole because then, like you said, like then you consider her probably the women's GOAT. And then if she beat if she went on a run, this obviously I don't know if they could pull this off, but if they could get Cyborg back in the UFC somehow, and even if it was at 145, because I don't know if Cyborg can make 35 anymore either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if she beats Cyborg and then beat like Pacheco again, I think there'd be like zero debate to have that she's the women's GOAT. She'd be literally everyone.
Yeah, you could. I mean, people would maybe bring up resume like. I know it's like she beat everyone, but people would say Cyborg was old or whatever. She waited around for Nunes. Like people would try to make those for sure. But I think it would be undeniable that if she beats Nunes, even if she beat like Cyborg and all that, she'd be like the most accomplished. At least you could say like combat sports athlete when you talk about the 2 gold medals, the UFC title, the fucking all of that combined. Like the fact that she beat Ronda in judo when they were in their prime and all of that, like, I think that makes her undeniable.
And I mean, look at what she like. I mean, look, Amanda. Look at even just like the people they fought like similarly. Like I mean, Amanda, Amanda lost to Juliana Pena, then went 5 rounds with her. I mean, Kayla went in there and just like literally ripped her arm out of the socket.
Destroyed her. Yeah.
Like just absolutely mauled her. So, and then Holly Holm, I mean, I know it was an old Holly Holm, took her down. I mean, choked her in the second round. Like none of these fights, I guess Vieira went to decision. But I mean, even just the way she's beaten these people has been like significant. And Cyborg, even the old thing, like she just beat Pacheco. So even the Cyborg being old thing, like it's fair. But like you said, like Harrison's no spring chicken either.
Yeah. No, it was great. Absolutely great performance. Shout out Kayla. Dan in the chat says, I think Kayla submits Nunez. Kayla by sub was the lock of the night. It was, clearly. That hit easily. News-wise, we got, obviously we'll talk about this when we talk about the card. We have a returning fighter to the UFC who I don't think we have discussed, Chris Moutinho, coming back to the UFC this weekend. Unbelievable. We were talking about the fact that Wellmaker couldn't get a fight. We were like, if it's been this long, they probably won't put him on the card. No. Chris Moutinho says, I'll step up. I'm ready for it. This guy, and again, I feel like he's in a position like he was in last time where it's like, even if he loses this fight, they're going to give him another one.
Absolutely. That's the deal you make. Any of these like last minute fill-ins, like even a guy who's done it now twice, you'll get another shot.
Yeah.
The problem is Moutinho. The problem is Moutinho. His second shot was Guido Canetti, and he got knocked out in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like Guido Canetti. So I mean, you're just like,
yeah.
All right, God, I don't know what we can do for you here. We tried.
Right after he ate 1 billion shots from O'Malley. Yeah. Tough.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because he's winning a 5-0 run with 5 finishes since he's left the UFC. But I mean, we haven't gotten to the card. I mean, Wellmaker is going to take his head off. I mean,
yeah,
I think that's going to be a like brutal murder.
Well, it's like he comes to the UFC, he makes a big name for himself. I'm sure he goes to the regional scene and they want to make him like the main event on all these cards because they're like, oh, he's the name that people recognize. So they give him a favorable matchup, and then it's like you're in a circle there.
Yeah, I mean, I respect Moutinho. It's gonna be ugly.
Let's tell people about
his last fight. He wasn't actually the main event. He was the co-main. I think Jorgen De Castro or somebody like that was the main event.
MMA regional shows are funny because they have parallels to like wrestling indie shows when like someone that was briefly in WWE will instantly be the main event and they book them like that. Let's tell everyone about one of our favorite sponsors here on the Spin and Backfist MMA show. That is DraftKings. We love DraftKings. Let me get the little. Is this the one? I tried to put it on. Oh, it's off. It's on. There it is. It's DraftKings. NBA Finals are here. This is your last chance to bet on the NBA until next season. And with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, they're pulling out all the stops to make this a finals to remember. One team will be crowned champ. The other will be lost to history. Who do you got winning it all? Put your hoops expertise to the test. All season long, DraftKings has been the go-to spot for NBA player props, and that doesn't stop now. Who's going to carry their team to the chip? Try placing a bet on your personal MVP to drop 30, 40, maybe even over 50. Ready to place your first bet? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Lock in your bets and finish the season as a winner. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Don't miss your last chance to bet on the NBA this season. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BACKFIST. That's code BACKFIST for new customers to get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Shout out DraftKings.
Shout out DraftKings.
Speaking of DraftKings, do we want to get right into this card? Do we have any more news to break down before we do?
Josh Van.
Oh, that's right. Josh Van stepping up immediately. He'll be on UFC 317. Crazy.
In 1 month. Legend.
And he tweeted like hours after 316 that he like fight news coming soon or whatever. Do you think they had the conversation with him like as soon as he won?
Yeah, I do. Because they move fast. Like even Jamal Hill's documented like that Jan Blachowicz and Ankalaev fight was so bad when it was a draw that they weren't even like back in the like room yet, and Joel Hill like got a
True.
call. He's like, I got a call. Literally, I'm like watching it on TV, and I'm already getting a phone call, being like, "Hey, like, you've been in 3 weeks for headline Brazil." I think the second this fight ended, Josh Finn, they're like, "Hey, like, you look great out there. You just knocked out number 12. Like, Cop might be hurt. Like, would you do it?" I think they floated out there first to see like, you interested, and then a guy says like, "Fuck yeah, I'm interested," and then they're like, "All right, like, give us like 24 hours, 48 hours," and then
I wonder if that's like a low key tactic. Because when a guy wins like that, like they're so fired up and ready to like take on the world that like floating the idea in that moment is like, it's almost like they're under the influence, almost like they're drunk, where it's like they're not, but their brain is wired in a way right now where they're like, I'll fucking knock out anybody, put anyone in front of me.
Well, Van also, I mean, he's now, I think at this point, like this is gonna like seal it for him. But I mean, he's been so fucking, he's fought 9 times in 2 years. Like, he's came in the UFC and like he's instantly said, like, give me more, give me more, give me more. Also, shout out to him, the great video on Twitter. He bought his mom a house.
I saw that. That was awesome. 23 years old, too, right? Like, what a cool thing to do is like a kid, basically, still like to buy your mom a house, her walking into it. That was awesome.
Not to be bootlicker, they say UFC fighters don't make any money. I'm just saying.
Good point.
The casuals out there, the non-cage knowers will tell you they make no money. Guys,
did
when the
you
UFC
see
mother house.
JDM like kind of put out an Instagram story about that today?
Do you know what it's in relation to? I watched a little bit of the Australian ABC, I believe it was, like their version. I think it actually is ABC. Put out a documentary about the UFC and kind of talked about like a lot of different things, from like bad fighter pay to like brain damage to just kind of like UFC fighters being like, honestly, kind of just saying they're like not like great people to like some degree. Like they brought up like Sean Strickland in Australia and like some things like that, like Bilal and like something. I don't know. It was a lot of shit. So I think it was him, and then a big part of it was on him because like he's now like the face of Australian MMA. Obviously, or I guess Volk obviously is, but like the new face, I should say.
He's new, yeah, for sure.
Was this in New Zealand or Australia?
I thought it was Australian because obviously, and basically just he was a big part of the beginning part, and then they get into all like the ugly parts of the UFC. So I think he was trying to be like, hey, like I think it's him trying to one like save face with the bosses, and two, him. I think it seems genuine. I think he didn't realize it was going to be.
They probably reached out, said, we want to feature you in a new documentary about the UFC as the new champ. He was like, cool, fuck yeah, and then didn't realize. We've seen that with like Barstool and Dave. Sometimes will say yes to an interview, not realizing it's a gotcha. We did that with wasn't it Real Sports? Kind of did that to us.
Yeah. I think that basically happened to him with this, where he was, because he's like the first part of it, like when it starts, like the guy, and it's like he just won the belt and all this, and then it like kind of gets into like the uglier side for like basically the rest of it. So I think it definitely made him look bad. And he wanted to get in front of it.
Also, I want to tell everyone about Blue Chew before we go on. Sorry, we got a couple ads today to get through. Let's tell everyone about Blue Chew. Have better sex with Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. And starting now, Blue Chew is offering a combo so strong, it'll knock your socks off and your neighbor's socks off. You'll have to move towns with the amount of noise you'll be making. Blue Chew Max has arrived, and it combines the active ingredients of Viagra and Cialis into one chewable. This combo acts fast and lasts. Guys, be ready when she needs it and get your first month of Blue Chew free. Great sex is just a few clicks away. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. And the best part, it's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew won't stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. That is the mission. Make life easier by getting harder, and discover your options at bluechew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew free when you use code SPINNIN. Just pay $5 shipping. That's promo code SPINNIN, just like in our handle. Visit bluechew.com for details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Shout out Blue Chew.
Shout out Blue Chew.
The best in the business. All right. You want to get into the card now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you guys mind breaking down the first few cards? I actually got to run to the bathroom.
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right.
Go ahead, Bob.
I'll add myself back on in a minute.
Muted.
We start the night off with Jamie Lynn Horth against Vanessa Demopoulos. This was booked last week, I believe. Vanessa Demopoulos is plus 390. Jamie Lynn Horth as the favorite, minus 520. The total round set at 2.5. Over is juiced at minus 375. And the under comes back at plus 270. Jamie Lynn Horth is going to look like a foot taller than her in there. Maybe not even look. I think she may be. Let me check. Oh, a foot taller than her. This fight, I mean, Jamie Lynn's decent on the feet. Vanessa will shoot takedowns. If she stuffs them, I think she'll have an easy time in there. I mean, I wouldn't really blame anybody for actually Jamie Lynn Horth is only 5 inches taller than her. I wouldn't blame anybody for taking a shot on Vanessa Demopoulos, but I think she's just so not inspiring. She's not very good. But I mean, she gets the takedowns going. She could find a way to win this.
Yeah, I mean the size, the reach is definitely going to be tougher to overcome. I mean, maybe she can just kind of grind one out. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like a dog or pass for me, but probably more like a pass. Maybe like I'd like a fight doesn't go just for like some bit. I don't know, but like it's this. Listen, if you got something to do on Saturday, if you miss this one, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, and Vanessa or Jamie Lynn has handled grapplers in a decent way. Miranda Maverick, as we'll see later on this card, it's not like she's some jiu-jitsu ace on the mat, but I think she handled Miranda in a decent way. I think she'll do the same with Vanessa Demopoulos. Obviously, Jamie Lynn lost to Miranda Maverick, but I don't see her really getting submitted here, finished. I could see her finishing Vanessa, though. So next up, pretty good fight for the second fight of the night, considering we've seen Phil Rowe against some really, like, his level of competition, when you look back, is legit, specifically for being the second fight on the card here. Phil Rowe, plus 124. Lousa, minus 148. The dog has caught my attention a little bit. I think level of competition is way different. We've seen Phil Rowe in there handle Neil Magny pretty well. That's a fight he could have won. It was this maybe a split, or it was a very close decision.
A lot of people thought he did win too.
And then on top of it, he's also fought the likes of Jake Matthews, Nico Price, Jason Witt. Jason Witt's not the great, but Orion Kase. I was looking at the under here, to be completely honest, more so than Phil Rowe. Under 2.5 plus 210. Lousa is just, I mean, he looks like $1 million, but sometimes he's just kind of eh.
He's super. I mean, he's fought some pretty good guys too. I like Phil Rowe as a dog as well right now. I'd definitely take him at plus 1. I don't mind the under too. The only Lousa is tough to get out of there. Phil Rowe's weird because he's usually kind of a slow starter. You know, it's even like a lot of like second rounds. He turns down to a lot of second round finishes. Lousa is also weird too. Like I remember he fought JDM in Contender and it was like pretty competitive. He was getting destroyed by Brian Battle. And then they had that eye poke that was fucking bullshit. Battle got fucked on that.
Oh, yeah. He
was beating the shit out of Lousa.
I had round 2. I'd round 2 battle.
I'd battle like I'd battle an enormous battle like inside the distance, like round 2, round 3 props. He's just way better. Not to go on a tangent about Brian Battle, who also just got a fight book. He's fighting Rusubov in Chicago at 85, which is fascinating. He didn't miss.
That'll be a great fight.
He did miss weight against Randy Brown, so I guess he was the 185 Ultimate Fighter winner, so he has 185. But yeah, I like Rowe. I don't mind the under either. Like a fight doesn't go. Phil Lousa has crazy long arms and he's tough. He's got a good chin, but yeah, I like Phil Rowe.
Next up, Another decent fight. One I'm actually very looking forward to. This card is like, there's not a lot of like, oh my God, that fight 6, but there's a lot of really, really good fights on here, I think.
Yep,
Obviously, we'll get to the main event soon, but Jose Ochoa, who I am very interested in as a prospect, going up against Cody Durden. And Cody's a decent test for like kind of like getting that top 35, top 30 range. Jose Ochoa, I think shoot box. If I recall correctly, I love him as a prospect. I'm looking at him at -180. I think he's pretty good until -200 here. I think he's going to box Durden's face off. If Durden does get the takedowns going, I think Ochoa will handle them, get back up. I really like Ochoa here, and I think we'll look back on this price a few fights into his career and think, oh my God, well, you could have got him at -180 against Cody Durden. That being said, Cody Durden, this is a hometown fight for him. I believe he's from Georgia.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jack. I like Ochoa. I think Durden, I think, is really good. I even would say he's more like top like 20, 25 even. I think for him, I think he's just very hittable. I think that's been his problem in a few of these fights, like Bruno Silva. He actually was like fighting well and then just got knocked out pretty bad. I mean, Joshua Van put a beating on him too. And these are two guys who are like very good fighters. Van, I think, is like the seal. I mean, his ceiling's to the roof. But I just think he's hittable. And I think Ochoa, I agree with you. I think we might look back. Like, I think Ochoa's got a lot of potential, dangerous striker. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked at all if he knocked him out.
Robbie, I think this is a perfect time.
Sorry about that.
To discuss our friends over at New Amsterdam.
Oh, I love our friends over at New Amsterdam. I can't find the bottle that was in here because I think everyone's been drinking New Amsterdam. They see the new label they've got on it. They see how crisp and blue and slick it looks, and it's the best. This episode is brought to you by New Amsterdam. It's the official vodka of Barstool Sports, the official vodka of the UFC, and in our opinion, it's the official vodka of winning as well. It's a champion vodka. You match it up against any other vodka, and you know it's a knockout for New Amsterdam. So whether you're catching the pay-per-view or this weekend's fights at your favorite bar or hanging out at home listening to us talk about them, celebrate your wins with the insanely smooth New Amsterdam vodka. Find your wins with New Amsterdam vodka. As we were saying, you throw a little fruit punch in there. It's like the spinning back fist combo. It's the spinning back fist drink. New Amsterdam fruit punch. We love New Amsterdam. It's the best.
The best. Best bang for your buck in the game. Shout out New Amsterdam.
Absolutely. And you'll see it in the Octagon, I'm sure, this weekend. You'll see it all over the UFC broadcast. All right, you guys were just recapping or previewing, rather, Ochoa versus Durden, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got the biggest fight on the card, the return.
The return of Chris Moutinho, as he was coined by, I think it was my fiance said it, the American Zombie. She called him the American Zombie. I loved the nickname. I said, all right, I'm running with it. Against Malcolm Wellmaker. Wellmaker minus 1450. Chris Moutinho plus 850. Tough, but I'll tell you what. I'm throwing $5 on Chris Moutinho and seeing what happens.
1 unit?
And 1 unit. 1 unit on Moutinho.
Wellmaker might be underpriced.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna.
I'm fucking around, but
he's gonna.
No, I think I love under 1.5 minus 166. It is. I think he just gets decapitated.
Yeah.
I think Wellmaker has. I mean, he has incredible power. I think we've obviously seen it his Contender Series fight, and I mean, what he did the same, it was crazy. I don't think those are flukes. I think if you throw him competition of this caliber, he's going to continue to do that.
Yeah.
I think this fight ends inside like a few minutes.
I'm glad they got him on the card. Like he'll have a great moment. Right. You know, people go nuts for him.
They should, and I noticed this too. So today, I think like sometime today or yesterday, they put on the UFC YouTube the video of Wellmaker's 2 knockouts, and I'm like, yup. Hype train's getting behind him. UFC, they see Wellmaker as a guy. They pulled Moutinho off the regional scene. Like, we need him to fight on the Atlanta card. He's from Marietta, Georgia. He wanted to be on this card. He just had an insane knockout on a pay-per-view card or a fight night, like a crowd card previously. Like, we need him on this card. What better guy to knock out Silly than the guy who said, oh, my God, the UFC bantamweight champion, couldn't get him on the mat. Basically got a mercy stoppage with like a minute left. If Wellmaker walks in here and puts his lights out inside 2 minutes, people are going to go, holy shit.
Yeah.
That UFC machine gets turning.
Then Paul Craig or no. Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee first. Court McGee plus 285. Is that a crazy price on him? Is that a little too wide?
I haven't bet him yet, but I keep looking at this Court McGee line, and I'm thinking to myself, Michael Chiesa's win equity is what? Staying on the feet and outboxing him, I guess.
Maybe submission.
No, who submits Court McGee, bro? Like nobody.
That's a good point. It's just Chiesa. I feel like Chiesa's route to victory a lot of time is that, but like he's minus, what did I say, 360? That seems so crazy at this stage in his career right now.
Yeah, I think Court McGee's live. I also think the under 2.5 plus 140, two old guys. The only thing is sometimes when you bet on those old guys, they'll find a way their chin's still there and they're not as powerful as they once were, and it's kind of a slugfest at the end. But I keep looking back on it and thinking Court McGee plus 285 is worth an investment, but I don't know. I mean, this guy, what? I completely forgot. He had a tough loss recently.
He's got knocked out bad a couple times in his last few. Like Matt Brown knocks him out bad. Jeremiah Wells knocks him out really bad.
Yeah, Chiesa's not that guy though. I don't think he's like a one-punch knockout guy with even Court McGee.
If Chiesa knocked him out like one-punch knockout, I'd be shocked.
I'd be stunned. Yeah.
But I guess you never know. I kind of agree. I think this is a dog or pass for me. It's either McGee or I'm not putting Chiesa in like any parlays at this price. Nothing like that.
Then we've got
maybe the over. But even that, I don't think I want to lay minus 180 over 2.5. I don't think I really like that either.
Then we've got Paul Craig, Rodolfo Bellato. Paul Craig plus 295, Rodolfo minus 375. Same stuff we said about Paul Craig last time, where it's like, do you take a shot on him? I don't know.
I did take a shot on him last time before this fight got canceled. I think maybe it's just we've seen Bellato get really tired. And if Paul Craig can somehow push him to that next level and get some takedowns going like Ihor did, it's possible, but that may be right around the chance of that happening might be right around the price that we are currently getting. So I have to think about this a little bit. I'm not taking Bellato though, but he could just go in there and just take Paul Craig's head off. The only thing is Paul Craig, I mean, he's fighting for his job here probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I bet Craig the first time too, maybe plus like 300 or maybe like a little higher, like 330, something like that. There's part of me that almost doesn't hate the over 1.5 because I do kind of agree with Jack where I think like Paul Craig's win equity here is like either it's two things. I think it's catching him in a submission, like classic Paul Craig fashion, or like Bellato just gas out because we've seen Bellato even weirdly like he was losing to Ihor. Like I don't think Bellato was good. We saw him get knocked out badly by Petrino. Like I don't think Bellato was good at all, but he maybe could go in there and just take his head off. Like Craig's old. But yeah, I think this is in other words kind of like dog or pass. I think I might end up on Craig, like even probably if it still hovers around like 300, I'll probably be on Craig at least like small.
I kind of think of it a lot like the Pyfer-Gastelum fight. Now, it's kind of difficult to compare Gastelum.
Different stylistically, but I see your vision. I see what you're saying.
Like, I think there's a chance that he can win a decision but like, actually, if he wins this, he's probably going to have to finish him. Because what would a decision look like? He's on top the whole time. Like I think he'll probably find a finish if he's on top the whole time. Belato's tough though because he could have quit in that Ihor fight. So but I think I'm with Ev. I'm getting close to the Paul Craig side. I bet him last time, and I was thinking to myself, Has that many things changed? Should I really not be betting him? And I probably should be, because I liked it last time. I should like it here.
And then we've got Alonzo Menifield versus, is it Umar or Omar Sy or C? Umar,
Like
looks like
C.
OU. Omar C. Minus 700 to Alonzo Menifield's plus 500. Is that the heaviest underdog Alonzo Menifield's ever been in his career?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
It's got to be, right?
Yeah, I would think so. I can't think of anyone else who would have been plus 500 against that he's fought.
The under 1.5 plus 105. The over minus 135 in this fight. Do you like the under or the over in this one?
I feel like I would lean over because I think Sy, like if you're taking the under, I think you're thinking either like Sy's going to come in here and just like take him down, like take his back. I don't know, or he's like I think that's I don't think he just goes in there and like starches Menifield in the first. I mean, maybe he does. I mean, Menifield's definitely been knocked out like a few times. Like he's definitely very hittable. But I also see I haven't seen enough to be like super super impressed by him yet. So I mean, I don't know. I guess I would take the over. I don't feel like confident in Menifield to be like, oh yeah, like I'm running to like bet him plus 500 because I just don't think he's like that good.
Yeah.
But I think we've also seen him fight like a lot of very good guys, and the level of competition here is like I don't think I really know who Sy is yet.
In the chat, shout out Abraham says in French it's like umasi, one word, umasi. Speaking French, I got the Duolingo going.
I agree with that. I guess Menifield, but I just like yeah.
You don't
also,
feel good.
We just saw him in a war, and sometimes we kind of see these guys in wars, and then they come back, and then like their chin's almost more gone than it was before.
Yeah.
The thing about Umasi,
nice.
he gets the grappling going, I'm pretty sure, and I think he can do that on Alonzo. The thing is, he has such a big neck, he may not be able to submit him.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that there, like Latifi, a real Latifi, where it's like you can't submit him by a neck. You have to do something else.
Yeah, you got to grab a limb. Then we've got Abdul-Malik versus Cody Brundage. Abdul-Malik minus 800, Cody Brundage plus 550. The under in this one, under 1.5, minus 188. So they think
Cody Brundage all day. Cody Brundage all day.
You're taking him?
Yeah. I think he's gonna hurt. I think he's gonna finish him. It's gonna be unbelievable.
Wow.
It's Cody Durden all the way. Give me him plus 550. They should be like minus 350.
Cody
plus
Brundage.
Cody Brundage no. Cody Brundage shouldn't be the favorite. That'd be crazy. But I think he has a real chance to hurt him. And Malik is a freak of nature. They really like him at Extreme Couture.
Yep.
That being said, I think Cody Brundage, and also Cody Brundage finds ways to win when there's no way.
You're on crack. Can you confirm you're not on crack?
I'm not on crack. I'm not on crack. Cody Brundage for the win, first round victory. It's gonna be elite. It's gonna be, dude. That guy that Malik fought on short notice in his first UFC fight, was getting in on single legs. He hurt him. I know it was a spinning fist or back fist. It was out of nowhere.
Oh, Nick Klein, right? Klein.
Yeah,
Nick Klein. I think Brundage is a guy that can finish those takedowns. I think he can hurt him, and I think plus 550 is worth the stab. This first round, Ab said earlier, we're talking about Jamie Lynn Horth against Vanessa Demopoulos. If you miss that, you're not gonna feel bad. You don't want to miss this first round. It's gonna be electric.
No, incredible action. Jack, this fight I didn't know because I was actually very curious. I think you talked me into Brundage. I was very like torn because I think Mansour is such a freak athlete that I'm worried about. Obviously, like I think what anyone's worried about that he just like murders him. But I think you sold me on some good points about like I forgot how much Klein really was like getting on the single legs and all that. Who knows? Like Brundage is a guy like Brundage is killer, be killed. Like he'll fight for your money.
Yeah.
Like I think you talked me into like a plus 550. If he dies bet. Like I think
Yeah. If he dies, he dies.
Like just no regrets, 0 regrets. Like if he goes in there and gets just like slaughtered in a minute, then like fuck it, we ball. I've made worse bets.
I think there's going to be a point. There's going to be a point in this fight where we're looking at our ticket and we're like, this was a good bet. This was a good bet.
It could be 30 seconds in, and he's knocked out a minute later.
Yeah.
But if he touches him at like any point, I'm going to be like, all right, like we're in this.
Then we've got the Gardbrandt-Barcelos fight. Should be a good fight. Is this the first one where Garbrandt's going to have the sword eye tattoo and the dreads? This could be possible mythical fighter watch Garbrandt.
Yes.
He's plus 150, Barcelos minus 180. I got to be completely honest. I just can't convince myself to bet on Garbrandt at this point. I know he put together a couple good wins. I can't put the trust in his chin after all we've been through together. It's like if I were to bet on Garbrandt and he gets knocked out here, I would feel dumb. So I think I got to be on Barcelos, and I think I probably would bet him at this price.
I like Garbrandt.
All right.
Do you think he's gonna? Do you think he's gonna knock him out?
For me, it's Barcelos. Obviously, like he just is coming off he was like a plus 700, whatever, 650 underdog to Peyton Talbot. He wins. He deserved the fight. He was better. Like, is he going to be able to just like grapple Garbrandt? He might. He might.
I think he might. Yeah, I think he might.
It's impossible. I just think plus 150. I don't think like Garbrandt like. He obviously had the fight on 300. It's Figueiredo. Figueiredo is kind of a different beast.
Yeah.
Who was his last fight against?
That wasn't his last, right?
Was that it? Garbrandt.
That was his last fight.
It was 300. It was his last fight.
Yeah. And before that, he put together the 2 wins against Trevin Jones and Brian Kelleher. He knocked out brutally.
Yeah, I think it plus one. Like if this holds firm at plus 150 or even goes a little higher, I'll take a shot at Garbrandt. I'll do it. I'll be that guy. I'll wear that hat.
Yeah, this is a pass for me. I think Hione's better. I think he'll get the takedowns, but the only thing is I don't want to lay this number on a guy who's 38. Like Garbrandt is 5 years younger than him.
True. And
I think Garbrandt may have some moments on the feet too, so we'll see. But and also there's some recency.
Is he getting us with a hot Billy or
he's lying? He's lying because he probably knows we didn't want.
Then we've got Edmund Shahbazyan versus Andre Petroski. Shahbazyan minus 185, Petroski plus 154. I also like Shahbazyan in that one. I don't mean to keep taking the faves here, but I do like Shahbazyan. I feel like he's looked good lately.
Handicapping a Shahbazyan fight special. There's just like a threshold of fighter that he's either going to like gas out and die late or he's going to knock them out. Like, where does he fall on that line? And I think this is phenomenal matchmaking because I think we're very much teetering on that line. I'm very curious where Jack goes with it. Round
2, round 3, Petroski's going to hit like crack. It's gonna be unbelievable. I think I'm gonna bet Petroski plus 154. The line keeps climbing, so I may wait a little bit, but I think Petroski's the perfect guy to avoid he'll do the dirty work here and he won't care about getting booed. He'll get in on some takedowns maybe against Shahbazyan, and as long as he doesn't die, I think that round 2, round 3. The only thing is Petroski does have suspect cardio as well. We saw that in MSG, but he's gotten a little bit better. So it's a good fight though. I agree with Ev.
I think this is like even like AJ Dobson, like he knocked him out, but like Dobson was winning that. Like Dobson, I thought fumbled the bag. I thought that was a very winnable fight for Dobson that he let go away.
I think Petroski's what he did against Adolfo Vieira was like very impressive, and I think he's getting better. He's training out of in that Philly gym that's just been so good.
Yeah,
I really like Petroski here.
And then the co-main event, Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. Rose Namajunas minus 258, Miranda Maverick plus 210. Interesting fight. I think logic says Rose keeps it on the feet probably and just wins by decision. Miranda Maverick's number is intriguing to me though, because I think she might have a strength advantage, right?
I think she definitely will.
So, like, is there a chance that Miranda Maverick is able to take Rose down and kind of hold her down for 2 of the 3 rounds?
Rose's takedown defense is so good. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if, and like,
is the strength going to outweigh that though?
Like, I just think Rose, like, I think Rose's striking is going to look amazing here. And if Miranda can't get the takedowns going, I even like Rose 3, 4, 5.
Is it 5 rounds?
Oh, this is a 5-round fight?
I'm
I
wrong.
thought this was a 3-round fight.
3 rounds. So I like Rose 2, 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I agree with the take. I think Miranda will be stronger, but I don't know if she'll be able to get like consistent takedowns, like top control. Also, like, even just looking back, like even just like her wins, like Miranda doesn't really have like any good wins, like really good wins recently. Like she fought beat Jamie Lynn Horth, like Andrea Lee, like respectable, but nothing like Rose has just fought like the best of the best and has beaten them.
She's a level above for sure.
Even like I think she definitely has a strength advantage, but I think it's tough to like I'm struggling to see her path. Like how does she win 2 rounds?
I think it would literally be use the strength, get her down and hold her there, but I don't see her submitting Rose. I don't see her finishing Rose.
I agree.
And then the main event, Usman versus Buckley. Usman plus 210, Buckley minus 258. I think we're going to speak to Buckley a little later today, so look out for that. I think Buckley's going to probably win this fight as well. Does the 5 rounds favor Usman?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I mean, Buckley's not really.
I think, unfortunately for Usman, I mean, I want to see where the line is on DK when they open it, but I think there's a real chance Buckley there's a chance he knocks him out. I think there's a pretty good chance too.
Wow.
Usman's getting old. It's just the knees are gone. Like Buckley's an athletic specimen. That being said, and you know, I mean, I get why there is some love on Usman. I don't think I'll get there though.
Yeah, I like the under 4.5 minus 125 right now.
Yeah.
I agree with Jack where I think when I like envision it in my head, Usman, I mean, he hasn't fought since he fought Hamzat. He hasn't fought in so long. I mean, he's old. I mean, even Ali this week talking about like he's the weekend like him gassing Usman up for this fight is saying his previous fights he'd have to get all these 7, 8 injections in his knee, shoulder just to fight. Now he doesn't. Like that's the selling point. That's like, oh, like he didn't need to get 9 injections to get out there on the cage. Like he's old. He's one of the great. He's one of the all-time greats.
Oh yeah,
Hall of Famer, everything. But it's a young man's game, and I've said it a bunch of. I really believe in the philosophy that I mean, like once you go on a big win streak like he was, and then start losing, it's hard to turn it around, man. Like I think this, like it wouldn't shock me at all if this is his like sayonara fight. Like if he loses.
Yeah.
Like, because what is Kamaru if he gets knocked out, especially by Buckley? Like, what's he fighting for after that? What's he really fighting for? Like, he's not like
one more win, if anything.
Yeah, like he's not like a Poirier, like Gaethje, or like type where like it's like we need to see Usman slug it out one more time. Like,
yeah,
he's like he was a decorated like great champion that was very active. Held down a lot of pay-per-views,
like
put on a lot of great
fight winning streak. I think he's got the second biggest winning streak in UFC history. Yeah.
Incredible. But I mean, this is Buckley who's hungry, who's like down in his proper weight class, who's on a winning streak, who also was a killer. I mean, just ran through Colby, knocked out Wonderboy, one tough stylistic match for him, still found a way. Yeah, I think Buckley wins, and I wouldn't shock me at all if he got a finish.
There we go. Ev, do you got to hop on Pick Central now?
Yeah, I'm hopping out.
Cool. All right. Thank you. And we could finish it out, you and me, Jack. That was the card. Do you want to talk a little PFL before we get out of here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Obviously, we've got PFL coming back this week. I think it's just in, 2 days? On the 12th? Yep. Thursday, June 12th, live at 11 p.m. on ESPN and ESPN Plus. The PFL is back finally. It's the semifinals of the PFL World Tournament. We've got Jason Jackson taking on Thad Jean. It's going to be a great fight. Obviously, Braga's on this card. 2023 PFL World Champ Pinedo on this card. I'm excited for it, Jack. I'm excited to get back to PFL in front of a live audience.
Yeah, Thursday night, 11 p.m. on ESPN, ESPN Plus. Prelims before we have the semifinals. I'm going to pull up the PFL odds for on DraftKings. There's odds on all of those fights. Obviously, the main event is Jason Jackson against Thad Jean. These two guys have been jawing back and forth on social media, on interviews, on Broadway in Nashville this week. This is a big-time fight. Jason Jackson, a guy who held Bellator gold. Thad Jean on the rise. It is Haiti against Jamaica. They're calling it the fight of the Caribbean, or fight for the Caribbean. This fight's going to be awesome. And
pretty close odds, too. I mean, Jason Jackson minus 198, Thad Jean plus 164. Close enough.
I really think this is going to be an easy fight for Jason Jackson. I really like him minus 198. This is a guy that is just, I think there's levels here, and he's going to show it. He's a guy who trains at Sanford MMA, whatever they call it now. I know they change the name every week over there. But Thad Jean is a guy that I'll keep an eye on, but I think this is just too much too soon. Now, obviously, Thad Jean could come in here and knock him out. If that happens, I will raise my hand and say I was wrong, and I will be looking forward to Thad Jean in the finals. But I think it's going to be Jason Jackson, and I think he's going to do it via submission. I'll be looking for him via submission inside the distance, and I'll definitely be betting him minus money, minus 198 on DraftKings right now. Some other bets, some other looks at these other fights. Obviously, there's 4 semifinal fights. Jesus Pinedo, Gabriel Braga. This is their 3rd fight. They've fought 3 times now. And I see Jesus Pinedo minus 230. I don't really have a read on that right now, but I will tell you, Mavlid Kabulaev against Tae-Kyung Kim. Tae-Kyung Kim really impressed me in this first round fight against Nathan Kelly. He's, I think, maybe one of the only Asian fighters at Fighting Nerds. He's wearing the Fighting Nerds glasses.
You're right, yeah.
And I think he's going to find another victory here as well. He's on, I like him plus 180. I like him there. I think it should be closer to minus 110, minus 110. This is a great fight. I think that we're going to see some finishes in the semifinals as well. And then Logan Storley against Masayuki Kukuri is
Storley could be a parlay piece for everybody.
Yeah, minus 800. And there's a bunch of other fights on the
throw
card.
On like a Storley, Pinedo, and a Jason Jackson parlay plus 142, 3 picks. I like that.
Yeah, and it's going to be, the props will be out soon. Logan Storley, and then Tae-Kyung Kim. I like Jason Jackson inside the distance. The early card that starts at 8:30 p.m. on ESPN Plus has some good fighters too. Joseph Luciano, Sarek Shields, Magomed Umaladov against Anthony Ivy, Jeremy Kennedy against Adam Borix. I believe Borix.
That's going to be a good fight, I think.
I think Borix trains in Nashville too. This is in Nashville, so I'm sure the likes of Michael Chandler will be there. And
I wonder if anyone's having their after party at Barstool Nashville.
Yeah, they really should.
Wouldn't be surprised.
And this will be a great fight night. Can't wait. 2 days away. Semifinals are here, finally. And can't wait to watch them all with PFL. Don't miss the action. Thursday, June 12th, live at 11 p.m. on ESPN.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Shout out to the PFL and all of our sponsors here on the Spin and Backfish Show. Shout out to everyone who was in the chat and watching. we'll see you next time.